They won't be able to stop you. That's right, no one will be able to bring you down, sabotage you, or control you, as long as you know how to use manipulation the right way. Manipulation isn't a bad thing when used intelligently. It's a powerful tool to protect your interests, influence situations in your favor, and become untouchable in the face of challenges. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to apply these strategies that Machiavelli, one of the greatest thinkers in history, taught centuries ago. These are the same tactics that the most powerful people in the world still use today to ensure success and respect. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn something that could completely change the way you relate to people and face life's obstacles. And before we continue, take a moment to check if the notification bell on the channel is already activated so you don't miss any important content. Before anything else, we need to understand why manipulation is such a powerful weapon. The answer is simple but very deep. Manipulation, when used the right way, is an essential tool for those who want to be strong, for those who want to overcome challenges without being stopped by anyone. It's not something bad, as many think. It's something strategic, as Machiavelli already taught back in the 16th century. He said that to stay in power, it was necessary to understand people, situations, and use that in your favor. And that, my friends, is the foundation of intelligent manipulation. Those who master the right strategies of manipulation are not easily deceived. That's because they know what's happening around them. They notice the signs, the moves that others might try to make to bring them down. They don't let themselves be carried away by momentary emotions, by provocations or criticisms made just to destabilize them. This emotional control is fundamental to staying strong. Furthermore, those who know how to manipulate intelligently are not shaken by direct or indirect attacks. That happens because they know that many times those attacks are just attempts to take away their focus, to create chaos. They stay calm and keep their strategy in mind, focusing on what really matters. As Machiavelli said, a strong leader does not get carried away by gossip or falsehoods. He keeps his path steady, using intelligence to respond at the right time, in the best possible way. Now I want to know, what was the situation in your life where you needed to use manipulation to protect yourself? Share it with me. Your story might help other people who are going through the same thing. And the main point, those who master manipulation can influence without being noticed. That's the big trick. It's not about manipulating in an obvious way, forcing things, but about subtly leading situations and people, making them act as you want, even without realizing it. This ability makes you untouchable because no one knows exactly how you're doing it, but everyone feels the result. When you manipulate the right way, you protect yourself. That means you avoid attacks. You prevent people from using your weaknesses against you. You position yourself. That's different from being aggressive or unfair. It's about being intelligent, strategic. You understand the right moment to speak, to act, to retreat, and to move forward. And then you move on, untouchable. Because no one can stop someone who knows how to play this game strategically, who knows how to use manipulation as a tool to strengthen their position. Machiavelli knew this like no one else. He understood that power is not given, it is conquered and maintained by those who know how to influence and control situations in their favor. He left us this legacy, to understand that the game of life, business, and human relationships depends a lot on this ability. And learning this can make all the difference for you who are watching right now. So stay alert. Don't think that manipulation is something dirty or wrong. Think like Machiavelli. Think about efficiency, strategy, results. Correct manipulation, used with ethics and intelligence, is the key so that no one can stop you. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like it, okay? Otherwise, I'll have to spill the gossip to your enemies, and then they'll know that you're learning to become untouchable. Imagine a situation at your workplace. You start to notice that you are the target of gossip, veiled criticism, and even sabotage attempts by colleagues or even superiors. These are those silent situations where no one speaks openly, but you feel the heavy atmosphere and realize that something is being done to harm you. What do most people do at such times? They react emotionally, letting themselves be carried away by anger or fear, responding in the heat of the moment, and ending up harming themselves even more. This is because when we act on impulse, we leave openings for others to have even more power over us. Now let's think differently. Those who master strategic manipulation, the way Machiavelli taught, act with intelligence and calm. This person knows that the best response is not the loudest or the most aggressive, but the one that keeps their image intact. Keeping your image intact means not getting involved in unnecessary arguments, not giving reasons for the criticism to increase. It's like a wise leader who knows that their reputation is what guarantees their power. Moreover, those who use manipulation with strategy control the narrative. This means that instead of saying anything at the wrong time, this person carefully chooses what to say, to whom to say it, and how to say it. They leave no room for misinterpretations or for others to speak on their behalf. This control of the narrative is a powerful way to influence those around you, making them see you as someone trustworthy, intelligent, and who knows what they are doing. Another essential point is the ability to make silent alliances. Machiavelli said that no one conquers power alone. It is necessary to have strategic allies. These allies are not always obvious. They can be people who support you behind the scenes, who help spread a good image of you, or who defend you when you are not present. Making silent alliances means understanding who can be an important partner for your journey, even if this is not openly declared. If you are tired of being manipulated and finally want to take control of your life, subscribe to the channel. This is the place where you will learn strategies that will transform the way you act, think, and overcome any challenge. Do not postpone the power that can be yours today. This support network makes you stronger and less vulnerable to attacks. And with all this, maintaining your image, controlling the narrative, and building alliances, you turn the situation in your favor. What seemed like a threat, an attempt to bring you down, ends up becoming an opportunity to show your strength, your intelligence, and your leadership skills. You come out of this situation stronger than you entered, more prepared to face the next challenges. This is exactly how you prevent them from stopping you, with intelligence, strategy, and coldness. This coldness is not a lack of feeling, but rather the ability not to let emotions dominate you. Machiavelli called this virtù, a combination of courage, wisdom, and control that allows the leader to act at the right moment in the right way. Understanding and applying these concepts can transform your personal and professional life. You start to be seen as someone who does not get shaken, who knows how to play the game of human relations, and who always finds a way to turn the game in your favor. And this skill does not belong to those born with luck or power. It belongs to those who studied, practiced, and chose to act with intelligence. Manipulation used ethically and strategically is one of the most powerful weapons you can have to be untouchable. It is not about deceiving or harming others, but about protecting yourself and ensuring that no one can stop you. Pay close attention now, because these are the techniques that will make you untouchable. These are teachings that came from Machiavelli, one of the greatest strategists history has ever seen, and that are still used today by people who know how to protect themselves and master difficult situations. Machiavelli lived in a very turbulent time, and he studied power in a practical way, so that those who knew how to use his strategies could stand firm even amid chaos. The first essential technique is knowing when to be feared or loved. Machiavelli asked, "Is it better to be loved or feared?" And he answered, "Both if possible. But if you have to choose, it is better to be feared than loved." It sounds harsh, but he explained that being feared is a way to inspire respect, to ensure that no one dares to underestimate or betray you. That's because fear creates a powerful barrier against unexpected attacks. But pay attention, being feared does not mean being hated or unjust. It means creating an aura of respect, of silent strength that makes people think twice before confronting you. Imagine a boss who doesn't need to shout for the team to function because everyone knows he is fair but firm. That is the balance. Machiavelli recommends winning people's hearts, but always with an authority that cannot be questioned. Another fundamental technique is controlling information. Machiavelli said that the secret of power lies in controlling what people know about you. It is not about being fake, but about choosing what and when to reveal something. If people know everything about you, they can use it against you. Therefore, being selective with your words and actions is a powerful weapon. Think of someone who, upon hearing gossip, doesn't panic or react impulsively. Instead, they observe, analyze, and respond strategically. That person doesn't let others use their own information to bring them down. This creates an invisible barrier that makes you untouchable. Furthermore, Machiavelli taught the importance of alliances. No strong leader builds power alone. Knowing how to choose your allies well and keeping those relationships secret is an art. True allies help strengthen your position and defend you when you cannot speak for yourself. But be careful. These alliances must be based on mutual interest, so they do not become a weakness. After all, an unstable ally can become an enemy at the most critical moment, and that can destroy everything you have built. Another technique that Machiavelli highlights is constant adaptation. He believed that a leader must be like water, able to change shape to fit the container that needs to be filled. This means that you must know how to adapt to situations, to people, and to challenges without losing sight of your goal. Being too rigid can make you vulnerable. Being too flexible can make you lose control. Imagine a plant that needs to bend in a strong wind to avoid breaking. That should be your posture when facing obstacles, firm but flexible. And finally, a technique that many forget, but that is crucial: patience. Machiavelli said that haste is the enemy of power. Those who know how to wait for the right moment to act, who can remain calm and analyze before making a decision, are far ahead of others. Patience is a form of intelligent manipulation because you let others rush and make mistakes while you observe and prepare your strategy. It is the famous waiting for the storm to pass so you can act with full force. These Machiavellian techniques of strategic manipulation are not about deceiving or harming, but about protecting yourself, positioning yourself, and advancing with intelligence. They are teachings that, if used consciously, can transform your life, making you someone that no one can bring down or manipulate. Remember, Machiavelli did not create these ideas for evil, but to show how power works in practice. Understanding these techniques is a step toward being untouchable in your daily life, whether at work, in personal relationships, or in any challenge that arises. Understanding manipulation ethically and intelligently is fundamental for you to become truly untouchable in today's world. First of all, it is important to break a myth. Manipulating does not mean being cruel, dishonest, or acting wrongly. In fact, manipulating, the way Machiavelli taught, is about being strategic, intelligent, and responsible. Machiavelli, who lived over 500 years ago, already knew that anyone who wants to succeed in any area of life needs to use their head, understand people, and the environment around them. He did not advocate gratuitous evil, but rather the use of intelligence to protect your interests and ensure your survival, whether in politics, business, or personal relationships. This lesson remains extremely relevant. So how can we apply this today, ethically and intelligently? The key lies in 3 points you need to master. First, use emotional intelligence to position yourself. This means understanding your emotions, knowing what you want and how to communicate that without letting others manipulate you. If you know your own weaknesses and emotions, it becomes much harder for someone to use them against you. Machiavelli said that a strong leader is one who controls their own emotions because that inner strength is what conveys power and security to others. Second, influence without being manipulated. It is not about manipulating to harm, but rather to steer situations in your favor, maintaining respect and ethics. Here comes the skill of reading people, understanding their motivations, and acting carefully so that your decisions generate positive results without causing unnecessary harm. Machiavelli believed that a good leader knew when to be flexible and when to be firm, always using intelligence to come out on top. Third, protect yourself from those who want to harm you. In everyday life, not everyone will have good intentions toward you. Therefore, knowing how to identify signs, act cautiously, and use strategies to keep your reputation and interests intact is essential. This does not mean closing yourself off from the world, but rather being attentive and prepared for difficult situations. Machiavelli taught that prudence and vigilance are indispensable virtues for anyone who wants to survive and prosper. These techniques that Machiavelli passed on to us are powerful tools. They can be used in your professional life to deal with colleagues and bosses in business, to negotiate and stand out in the market, or even in personal relationships to maintain balance and mutual respect. The secret is to use these strategies responsibly, always thinking about the balance between what you want and the well-being of others. When you learn to manipulate the right way with ethics, emotional intelligence, and strategy, you not only protect yourself, but also build a strong and trustworthy image. You stop being vulnerable to negative influences and become that person whom others respect, admire, and even fear to the right extent, exactly as Machiavelli recommended. Therefore, do not be afraid of the word manipulation. Instead, understand that it can be your ally, as long as you use it wisely and ethically. Whether at work, in the family, or in friendships, mastering this art will make you stand out, remain firm in the face of challenges, and become truly untouchable. Power does not lie in being the physically strongest, but in the control of the mind, emotions, and strategies. Today, with so much information and people trying to influence each other, knowing how to act ethically and intelligently is a differentiator that can change your life forever. Summing up everything we've discussed so far, it's essential to understand that they won't stop you if you know how to use manipulation the right way. Here, manipulation is not synonymous with something bad, dishonest, or cruel. On the contrary, it's a powerful, intelligent, and strategic tool, an art that Machiavelli taught centuries ago and that remains extremely relevant today. The essence of proper manipulation lies in knowing the game of power, understanding people, and using that intelligence to protect yourself, influence others, and advance without being overthrown or sabotaged. Machiavelli warned us that power is not only for those who are physically stronger or who shout the loudest. True power lies in mastering the rules of the game, using the cards you have in the best possible way, and acting with coldness and strategy. He said that a wise leader is one who knows how to be feared, but also loved, balancing respect and control to avoid betrayals and underestimations. This wisdom applies perfectly to our lives today, whether at work, in business, or in personal relationships. Many end up being caught by surprise, reacting emotionally and harming themselves. This happens because they don't understand the real dynamics of power and human relationships. But you, who are here, with access to this knowledge, can turn the game around. You can learn to keep your image intact, control what people say about you, build strong alliances, and come out stronger from difficult situations. This is true strategic manipulation, the kind that doesn't destroy, but builds and strengthens. Stop being the easy piece on the board of life. Stop allowing others to decide the course of your story. Start playing the game of power as Machiavelli suggested, with intelligence, ethics, responsibility, and calm. Use these techniques to protect what is yours, to positively influence the people around you, and to become truly untouchable. Remember, to manipulate is not to harm, but to wisely lead to achieve your goals and avoid being manipulated. This knowledge puts you far ahead of the majority. Those who master these strategies have control over their own lives and can face any challenge without losing balance. It's the difference between being a victim of circumstances and being the strategist of your own destiny. As Machiavelli emphasized, power is in the hands of those who know how to act, think, and decide at the right moment. Now, reflect with me. Do you want to continue being manipulated, caught by surprise, and a hostage to the actions of others? Or do you want to learn to use these techniques to be the protagonist of your story, to turn every challenge into an opportunity? The world belongs to strategists, those who know the rules of power and play wisely. Are you ready to be one of them? If this content made sense to you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. And tell me in the comments, have you ever used or do you know someone who uses these strategies? How was it? I really want to know about your experience, exchange ideas, and help you become stronger and stronger. See you in the next video. And never forget, power is in your hands. You just need to know how to use it with intelligence and ethics. Be the master of your destiny and untouchable in any situation.